Morris is back.
Good morning. Here's the news from the BBC.
Yes, looking all intelligent in his glasses, and of course his channel T-shirt. That's the wrong logo again, Gary.
I know, but I like it.
You know what, I'm going to design you a T-shirt with a nipple.
Because I'm looking in there, and everything's asked about face. And,
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning.
Hello.
I'm back.
Are you feeling better, buddy?
I'm feeling better after yesterday. Yeah. And I had a good day on Monday, frolicking in the woods.
Yes, we did think you were playing in your mankini in the woods.
Skipping merrily through the woods in my mankini.
Yeah, terrifying the locals.
And the deer.
The old deers especially.
Oh, poor Marion.
Oh, that's fighting talk.
You're lucky she's not watching.
Yeah.
But if Kerry
Ann's not watching as well.
If Kerry Ann is, she'll find out.
Yeah.
No, we're all good. All good. How about you, chaps? You all right?
Yeah.
And can I just say congratulations to the winners yesterday of the competition. The ones from Dale.
Well done.
And I did absolutely think Duke knocked it out the park with those figures.
He did.
Yeah, they're great.
Yes.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
I had a lovely email off Matthew this morning as well.
Nice.
I'm just waiting for his competition winner sticker to arrive from Redbubble, and then I shall send off his prize.
That was going to be my entry.
Hang on, let's zoom in.
That would have been my entry had I have finished it.
Nice.
Lovely.
But unfortunately, the diorama only got done as far as that.
Well, that's because that serves you right for being a lazy ass then, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably. Probably. But it will get finished.
Yeah. You can always enter the next one, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Because there will be more.
There'll be more.
Yes, because I enjoyed that.
Good.
Yeah. And hang on, you and John are wearing matching tops again. Matching coloured tops.
Just a jumper.
Mine's
both blue.
Wrong again, look. There it is. There.
See, I don't have any blue tops, so I can't do that.
I have a lot of black tops, and I'm trying to get rid of them because I'm sick of wearing black. So I want brighter coloured tops.
Mine are mostly black with some sort of design on the front or army green.
I've got a lovely proper do-up short sleeve shirt, which has got a hurricane on the front.
See, I like these shirts, and I just roll the sleeves up, and nice and cozy.
Fashion with Bearded Veteran creates.
Yeah.
And Bearded Veteran's summer collection this year.
My summer collection was definitely not wearing one of these flannel shirts over the top of a t-shirt. It was
Budgie smugglers and flip-flops.
No, swimming shorts.
So how's the weather out there now? Like, is it cooling down?
No, it's going to get hot again. It's going to get hot again this weekend.
Torrential rain this morning, though.
It's cloudy and sunny here today, and when the sun comes out, it's scorchio. It's a bit breezy, but I have it on good authority, BBC or the Met Office, that it's going to get hot.
We found out some interesting information yesterday, Gary. You know, we changed the times to 12 o'clock about 3 months ago.
No, I did. Now, I did read something in our private chat that was time related.
Someone didn't realise that the time was 12 o'clock and not 11 o'clock.
Well, it doesn't matter to me because it's either 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. You're doing your time.
Yeah.
The end of every live stream, I say we're back tomorrow at 12. And
you do too?
And on the thumbnails, I put 12 p.m. till 2 p.m.
Because we've been doing it like, it's almost like a week, 4 months.
Who reads that rubbish?
Yeah. It's only been like 4 days a week, 4 weeks a month for the last however many months.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And they're all the same time.
Not to be trusted.
Thing is, you're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Shall we get on with some chat?
Yes.
Why not?
Once I've had a sip of my coffee.
Chatteroony. Duke says, "Good day, all you beautiful people and big boys." Oh, what a face.
GM says, "G'day, Duke. Surprised to see you here early, or you hide in the background."
Oh, Gary also says, "Who else is lurking about we don't know about?" Hello, everyone joining in.
Yeah. Bearded Veteran says, "Me, lol."
Gary says, the bearded one is here. Lol.
He also says, "Not seen Hagrid of late. Is he okay?"
He started a new job, bud, so he's working during more during the day, said Bearded Veteran. This is going to get really monotonous.
Thank you, Mikey. Glad to hear he's on the up. It's stressful when you're struggling.
Yes, it is.
BBC says, "It is indeed, bud."
Bob says, "Well, I'm here, but might be distracted reading Discord for Dummies."
Oh, pause on that. Okay, I was talking to Callum yesterday, and he showed me a way of, if you start a thread on a picture on Creative Projects, right? I'll show you now. You can actually, there's a way of going to that picture, and then it'll just show you all the comments for that picture, rather than having to go searching back through.
Okay.
So I shall show you now.
Very good. Who's that's Callum, is it? Callum's a Discord expert.
Well, he's one of them, yeah. Okay, so if you go onto
your picture's backwards, Mikey.
Where's my picture backwards? That's unusual.
Your picture's backwards. Your picture's backwards.
Yay.
So if you go onto hold on, Creative Projects.
Yeah.
Go to Media.
Oh.
And it comes up with the pictures.
Oh.
And all the comments on the pictures. So then you just press on there. If there's a thread attached to it, it'll come up and you can go jump to message.
Cool.
Well, there you go.
So, thank you, Callum.
Is Grindr like that, Mikey?
Sorry?
Is Grindr like that?
I wouldn't know, mate. You'd have to ask your wife.
So Bob's now frantically writing that down quickly while he's reading Discord for Dummies and thinking, "Oh, my head's going to explode in a minute."
Yeah, you walked into that one.
Oh yes. Well, yes. So Gary says that some of my staff are concerned about Bobby, the hoarder of beasts. They ask, "What can be done?"
Call me RSPCA.
Bob says, reassure them. Most of the beasts have been rehomed, or at least they will be from midday onwards when the parcel is collected from the post office.
And he says they have some friends with them too. Excellent.
Gary says, "Bobby, great to hear. Just stay away from the buying sprees, lol."
He's already got up on another one. Bob says, "Thanks for the advice. Oh, too late. 3 Panzerkampfwagen 2s obtained." Bless.
GM says, "Bobby, I've not bought anything in a month. I'm tripping over boxes of 148 jet kits here and at work. Really should start building and less talking to everybody. Haha."
Yeah. And he also says, "Bobby, no." Slow motion.
It doesn't work so much when the microphone's attached to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew says, "Hello, everyone." Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
It's you, Mikey.
Oh, yeah. Bob says, "Sorry, not really."
He also says, "Old bloke living alone."
Skiing.
skiing. Okay.
Spending the kids' inheritance.
Ah, righto.
And Bob says, and I can leave the toilet seat up without getting shouted at.
A guy says, Bobby, lol.
He also says, Bobby, my wife is watching this. She thinks we're all a bit over the edge. Edge of what? Yeah.
And Duke says, G'day, Gary. I'm not working tonight, so I'm ready to watch the screen.
The screen.
Bob, I need a telescope to look back to see the edge.
GM says, hey, Bobby, Mikey's got ready all this out. Ha ha. Oh, he's got reading all this out, I guess. Ha ha ha. He should skip it, I think.
And Bob says, either that or we keep going and see if he loses his voice.
Yeah.
Now, that's why he's divvied it up into the thirds. It's you again, Mikey.
GM says, bloody spell checker, read all this out.
GM says, Bobby, we'll get sin binned if we keep going.
I'm not daft, me.
And Bob says, the bloke who invented spell checker died recently. His fun days on Monkey.
Tiff says, no, I won't be putting anyone into the void, don't worry.
Oh, challenge
If
accepted.
I start singing that song we were talking about before we went live.
Yeah. Tiff also says, also, good afternoon, all. Hope you have all pressed the thumbs up. Prostate checked.
GM says, G'day, Tiff.
Was that Monday we were talking about that? Was it
and
Friday?
ever since.
Did you not see that one, Gary?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
Pretty much the whole live stream, we ended up either talking about prostate exams and the importance of them, or conversations that swung back round to prostate exams.
Okay, so I get the fact that you're talking about the importance of them, you know, for gentlemen of a certain age and things like that. I just dread to think. I just dread to think how the conversation kept coming back round to prostate exams. I don't really want to know. I'll find out for myself. Yeah. I think it's me. Joe says, good morning, afternoon, and evening to all. Hiya, Joe.
Hiya, buddy. Bob says, hi, Tiff. You have a beast on the way by Gary Evans Distribution Service.
Kieran Pitskits is in saying afternoon.
Matthew says, welcome back, Gary. It's good to be back, Matthew.
How come I keep getting Tiffs? Tiff says, oh, thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate it very much.
There you go.
She does not sound like that at all, by the way.
And obviously. Joe says, great to see Mr. Morris.
Yes, that's generally what the police say.
You're back again, I see.
Yeah. And Julian's in. Hi, Julian. He says, morning, needy host, Gary. Welcome back. Hope you're feeling okay. Evening, John.
Oh, Modders is putting the finger up to me in the background. That's naughty.
I am much better.
But she is wearing a channel t-shirt for Dark Side Scale Modeling, so that's cool. June says, morning all in chat. Hey.
Also says, Gary, surely summer wear is the mankini, sandals, and a fedora?
Absolutely. They're in the wash at the moment, unfortunately, because I did wear them down the woods on Monday when I was skipping around the campfire in my mankini, fedora, and sandals.
He told Marion that it was mud down the back.
And is it me? I've forgotten.
Yes.
Timmy says, good day, folks. Good day, Timmy.
Ian says, good afternoon. Have I tuned into Jack and Ori? I don't know what that is. I'm not old enough.
Nah, Tiff says, not to toot my own horn. I already knew that, Mikey.
So why didn't you tell everyone else?
Yeah.
When you saw everyone struggling, you sat there and laughed, didn't you? Admit it.
And Julian says, ooh, I'll need to add that to the hashtag Discord FAQ chat.
Yeah.
Crack on, Julian.
Yeah. Sandra says, hello, people. Hello, Sandra. I won't do a silly voice for Sandra.
Too late. Ian says, hi, Sandra.
Duke says, Gary, hope you have a good stream tonight.
Well, that's that prostate.
It'd be the first time
you back to prostate again.
And we've broken Gary. Yay!
He's wondering how he came back around to it. Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, this is how it kept happening. Stuff like this. Whose turn was it?
Yours.
Yay! Julie says, "Is that a cue for me to ask Paul that question again about his examination?" Speaking of it, Julian, did you book yours with your doctor? Because, no, to be fair, right? I'm not joking now, Gary.
Okay.
When we were talking about it, Julian actually said he didn't realise that there's a way of doing it where you just had the blood test rather than having the prostate exam. So he's actually said he's going to go and book his.
Do you know what? No, did I?
So well done, Julian.
Yeah, well done, Julian.
Go and get checked, buddy.
I'd say I'd give you a big thumbs up.
Speaking of which, John.
Okay, Julian says, which finger, Mikey, important for prostate check?
Tiff says, didn't say because no one asked.
Paul says, "Good day, guys. Hope all well with everyone." Hi.
Good day. Good day, Paul.
It looks like you put on an examination glove.
I apologise.
Julian says, also, we don't have access to the hashtag Discord dash pack TIFF.
Yes, you do. I changed it before when you asked me to.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mrs. Do you have the KY jelly, or are you using what's it?
No,
called?
I've got this.
Speaking of which, don't forget to lube and subscribe.
Boom! See how we work that in there?
Good, that wasn't it? You like that?
We're getting quite professional at this.
I know, right? Shall we shut the fucking down to the trains?
Yeah, why not? Oh, yeah. What time does it start?
I so read that wrong. The end bit.
Yeah. I thought Gary is going to get the deep heat out.
I think it's time I went to the bench.
I think it's time I went back to sleep. I thought I said throat instead of heat.
Oh, yeah.
You really do need to.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
All right. So, I need to. So my train thing. I haven't touched it since last week when I ran out of black paint. So the first thing I need to do is the Love Me Tender. I need to finish that and paint that black before I do anything else. So I'll jump across to the booth and get that done.
And I shall be doing some work with the aluminium real colour marker pen.
I'm putting the bogies and that on. Julian says, "Not yet, Mikey. My hospital appointment isn't until Monday, but I'll check then. Might as well have the blood test as I'll be there anyway." Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
And don't worry, it's just a little prick.
Going up here for a sec.
You said, "I really think you either need more sleep, Mikey, or go and get tested for ADHD." Yeah, this is a discussion that's been ongoing this week, isn't it? On the channel, is whether or not I have ADHD to some degree. Because Kay mentioned it the other day as well. Yeah, that's mine so far, Gary.
Looking good, mate.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me because I flip between topics very, very quickly. Hey, that's better lighting.
Yeah, but where's that going? You bastard.
What?
Can you see that? It's just run down there.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. How did that happen? That's not like the pens.
I don't know.
Bad work.
I will soon cover it up though.
Joe says, "A little what, Mikey?" That's what she said. That woman on, was it this morning or something like that? She was having a blood test done or something. And they said to her, "Does it hurt?" And she went, No, it's just a little prick. And then she realised what she'd said and just broke down laughing because it was live. So they couldn't edit it out.
Oh, well, when They used to. Oh God, I've gone over there as well. On this morning used to be terrible for innuendos when Holly Willoughby was on there.
Yeah. She's a right one, isn't she? Bless her. Bob says,
Yeah.
I have a problem with BVC. 6502 programming has that as branch on overflow clear. What?
What?
Are you on the meds again? Bob says, so I keep thinking that has he overflowed on? I think he may be on his meds again because he puts random stuff when he's on his meds. But okay. Jim says, it's just a little prick. Avoiding the obvious gag, I get blood tests at that annual hospital appointment anyway. There we go. And Paul Price is in. He says, evening all. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Right. Now then.
Then
Where
now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, boyo. Right, got that.
All right. Here we go.
Hey, he's on the move.
Yes. Okay, standard thing with the noise of the booth. If it's loud or whatever annoying, then let me know and I'll mute myself.
John, shut the fuck up. I joke. Okay.
You okay, TC?
Obviously, I'm only joking. I'm not really being mean to John. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Unless he asked me to.
Okay.
And even then, it's only when he's wearing a mask.
And answering to the name of nursing.
Yes. Jim says, hello to Tiff, Gary, John, and the other guy. Oh, yes, Mike.
Oh, yeah, Mikey.
Hi, Jim. How are you, buddy?
Hello, Jim.
I'm becoming a second-rate presenter on my own show. God damn it.
What do you mean becoming?
I was going to say, you always were.
Well, thank you.
Is that bit aluminium?
Yes.
So I can't draw a Thomas the Tank Engine face on it.
Yes, you can. It's your train. Do what bloody hell you want with
Do
it.
what you want.
You can paint it sky blue pink with red dots if you want. Bob says...
Sorry, I was going to say, what grade did it recommend?
Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? The eyes and the mouth are the dark bit.
Well, it's all going to get covered up now, so...
You can't do blackface these days. It's not acceptable.
This is when he realizes that if you put another coat on now, that part's going to be stand out more.
Oh, it's saying steel metallic for the grey bit at the front.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
kind of. It's either graphite or steel, but there was 20 of them, I think, and they were all painted differently.
Okay.
It's just that the two that are surviving now are like a graphite steel colour on their boiler and on their smoke box.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll use steel then, because I can.
Bob says, no med spent part of the last night reverse engineering Acorn Electronic Basic ROM. Oh, Electron Basic ROM. There we go. Well done. Ian Ellison says, hey, Paul. Hello, Ian Ellison. Ian Ellison came on yesterday, Gary.
Did he?
He came on the panel.
Good for him.
You?
Well done, man.
He's got rid of his beard and locks.
His beard and locks?
Yes.
Quite right, too. There's too many people with beards on this programme.
Hey, steady.
Yeah.
Just because the weight of manliness is too much for some of us. Jim says, greetings to all the usual suspects in chat. Hello. Hello. Oh, I still can't find the bloody wheels. 4 wheels to this.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Doors off.
That's what I was doing.
Oh. So,
Duke says,
I'm having knee problems today. Look, it's fine to stand and walk and yada yada, but for the first time ever, if I go anywhere past, say, I don't know, 120 degrees or something like that, terrible pain in my left knee, and I don't usually get that. So I'm a bit concerned.
That's called getting old.
I know. I don't like the idea.
No.
Duke says, when I worked in the operating theatre, the anaesthetist didn't like it when I told the patient that there would be a prick in the needle. Ha
I have a barbecuing apron that says "prick with a fork."
What was his name?
Gary.
There was somebody in the UK, Ainsley, something or other.
Ainsley Harriott.
Yeah, and it had a pack of sausages with his photo on it, and it said under it, Ainsley Harriott. It said "prick with a fork." It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You need to get out more. Ian says, "Hello, Jim."
Hello, James.
Ooh, Comet.
Yeah. Paul says, "I remember buying the ex-wife's partner the Big Boy kit 15 years ago. He'd never built a model, so it was worth the expense." Yes.
Now, if my memory serves me correctly, there's another bit of this which is aluminum. Is there not? Or am I completely
the boiler, the plate around the outside the boiler. Sorry, not the boiler.
You expect me to know where that is?
Bit, the firebox there.
Oh, that bit there with all the knobbly bits on it.
There's a big riveted plate on the outside of it.
Yeah,
on both sides.
Okay. Right ho.
Right ho, tally ho, pip pip, what? Jim says, "Hello, Ian, Paul, and Duke." Paul says, "And years." Sandra says, "Bob, my hubby collects acorn machines, has a large collection of them in the spare room." Oh. Paul says, "Evening, Jim." Julian says, "Gino de Campo was terrible for unintended funny comments. Once they said bolognese wrong, and he said, 'Yes, and if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike.' Philip and Holly collapsed laughing."
Yeah.
Tiff says, "FF's sake, they substituted my red onions in my Asda shop, my garlic clove for garlic cloves, and also didn't have the food I bought for my tea tonight. So it was supposed to be chicken and chorizo pasta bake. I had that the other night. It was very nice. You'd have enjoyed that."
I can't believe they substituted tomatoes.
No, red onions.
Red onions for garlic cloves. I know garlic is part of the onion family, but come on, guys.
Garlic gives me a bad stomach. I don't like it. Duke says, "Good day, Jim."
Oh, yeah.
Jim says, "Hello, Julian and Paul." Don't stand outside my bloody window yelling at your kid, you stupid bugger. Inconsiderate person.
Now get away before I taunt you a second time.
Yeah. Before I turn on the water cannons. Paul says, "Evening, Ian. Obviously, I'm not going to turn water cannons on a kid. No, I wouldn't do that. And I don't have water cannons." Julian says, "Mikey."
I would, however.
Julian says, "Mikey, don't worry. You've never been a second-class host. You've never been that good."
Excellent.
Thanks, dude. You know you're a moderator. Or should I say, you know you were a moderator?
Sounds like Julian's going to be called for an interview without coffee and biscuits.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there another type?
I'm going to get Winston to do the prostate exam for him. Jim says, "I normally have bagels with locks, not beards." I don't get it. Bob says, "Sandra, I only have 2, electron and atom." Ooh, still two more than what we've got. Sandra says, that's nice, Robert. They won't take up a lot of space. He has loads and used to work for Acorn Soft, so he's collected years of junk. I'm sure they were worth every penny. Jim says, I like the patina on your locomotive, Gary. What the hell? Duke says, a very good friend of mine has a Golden Gloves boxing was a Golden Gloves boxing champion. He works as an anaesthetist, saves on drugs. Very good. Well, a guy that I was a young craftsman with when I was in the forces. He's now a warrant officer in the Army Reserves in a medical unit. He's a sergeant major, but he's also an anaesthetist in the local hospital as well. But he's high enough up that he actually goes around the country training other anaesthetists, which is cool because he started off as a porter, hospital porter.
Tiff says,
yes,
to Julian, Holly said something about if he added ham to the meal he made, it would be like a British carbonara. Gino said yes, and if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike. I do love Gino; he's funny. Yeah, Holly was famous for saying things she shouldn't say on this morning, like when she was trying a particularly piece of food. She said, "Once it's in, I love it." Sandra said, would this train model actually work if you put it on a railway set? I very much doubt it.
The way we're building it, probably not.
No, I don't think it's good enough. The wheels, you'd have a difficult time getting into free roll. So even if you want to motorize it, I think you just buy one. You know.
Yeah. Well, no. What you'd have to do is you can buy the wheels separate and stuff.
Oh. Yeah. Or do that.
It's the same with the Dapples. They're designed to be either free running or have motors put in them. And the Dapple trains are only 10 to 15 quid, depending on which one you get. So yeah. Next, Julian says, once in the operating room for a local anaesthetic operation, the anaesthetist asked if I wanted music. I said yes. The CD player on random played Queen, Who Wants to Live Forever. Go.
When I was out in Cyprus, one of the ops officers went to the hospital there to have the day surgery to have a vasectomy. He arranged with BFBS because they always had a radio on in the operating theatre. That when he went in there, the first music he heard was the first cut is the deepest.
I used to like BFBS. They're good.
That's so British Forces Broadcast Service.
Correct.
They have a station everywhere the armed forces are.
Yeah,
and they were good.
They did have it in Qatar, but we'd only hear it if we went down to Brit Bar.
Yeah.
Which was not very often. We had to be invited down. They never wanted us here because, Australians can't be trusted, and they didn't like us bringing sandpaper with us.
Well, no.
I'd have let you in, John.
That's what she said.
Junior says, "Oh yes, that's right, Tiff." So, I'll get through this quickly, and then I'll talk about this. Duke says, "John, you have now reached the age where you refer to your needs as your good knee and your bad knee." Yes. Tiff says, "I hate you, Mikey. I was looking forward to my food, all homemade too. Now I have to go and find somewhere to buy chicken and onions and chorizo." Unlucky. June says, "Be back in a bit, Kerry here. No problems." Bob says, but has Holly been welly wanging again?
Yeah, that was the other one, wasn't it? Welly wanging.
Duke says, "Paul, we used to tell patients that if the drugs don't work, we use the tontine anesthetic." Jim says, "Duke, regarding the knees, one good, one bad is the current state of health of my knees." Kevin says, "Good day, everyone." Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Duke says, "Same here, Jim." And Jim says, "Hello, Kevin." So yeah, me and modders were talking about how it's quite difficult to get women into scale modeling and to enjoy the hobby and to join in things like scale modeling live streams and things.
Yes.
So I think it'd be interesting to get some feedback from les females in the chat. So
the chapesses.
Obviously, I know Tiff's opinion because I've known Tiff for 4 years, if not longer, and obviously she's been a mod on the show since we started. But Sandra, it'd be really interesting to get your feedback. What sort of things make you want to follow live streams on a regular basis and things like that? And if there are any other females watching, obviously, same applies. Don't be afraid to say hey. Join in the conversation.
Because it don't work if you don't.
No, exactly. If you don't tell us, we don't know what to do. Well, we know what to do. We just don't know. You know what I mean?
Obviously, you don't.
Aha, there we
Why
go.
put all them in there? No, there's one missing. Oh, I know what that is.
Choo choo. All right, Kevin says, Jim, are you still in the heat wave? Paul says, always make sure the anaesthetist has a sense of humor. When they ask what operation you're in for, never tell them you're in for a boob job when you're going for a shoulder reconstruction.
Oh, I nearly sang then. It nearly happened. That thing we were doing before.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't be a git.
Choo-choo!
So one of the things that came out of the members live stream yesterday, was that the members would like to be told about what kit's going to be next, about halfway through each build. And I'd say we're probably over halfway through the build now. So the build after this is going to be the Tamiya SAS Jeep. So if you want to join in or whatever, you've got a couple of weeks to get hold of one. They're not that dear. We deliberately try and choose kits that are cheap, or fairly cheap anyway. So yeah, if you want to join in, feel free. You can build along at home with us.
There are figures in that as well, so
yeah,
we can do some figure work.
Obviously on Tuesdays, because we're coming near to the end of the bike build, me and John, me and this one down here, him, we're going to be doing the mini art omnibus. We've got the what are they called?
Kits.
The civilian crew and essentials. So we've got the figures to go with it. So the question is, do we do the figures for it first so that we can put them in the buses we're building? Or in fact, we could do them at the same time, thinking about it, couldn't we? Because you just glue them to the bench and then spray the bench with them on it. Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, that's just too much like common sense.
I wouldn't do it that way. Isn't that the method you do to RAF Voyagers?
No, that requires an electric scooter and a fire extinguisher.
Okay. So not an omnibus.
You mean, are you referring by any chance to the Battle of Bryce Norton?
Yes. The one that the RAF regiment forgot to turn up to.
The one that didn't actually make the news in Australia. Everyone I mentioned it to had no idea about it, as did I.
Well, yesterday the government announced that security had been increased at all RAF bases, not just Bryce Norton.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing the omnibus next on a Tuesday, and the next one on a Friday is going to be the Tamiya Jagdpanther. So that'll be fun.
It won't be fun when Marion finds out I've ordered it.
You just don't tell her. You make sure she's out when the deliveries are coming.
She does accounts.
Duke said, "See, that's why you have your own account."
No, You wouldn't have any money then.
And just to confirm, I did offer to pay for your kits this morning.
You did, and I did refuse.
There we go. So, I do offer out the channel.
It's very kind of you, but I see the channel is still growing. It's only a toddler.
Yes,
So
it is.
It needs all the help it can get.
Yeah. Drew says, that's right, Paul. Never annoy them. They are the ones keeping you alive. Very true. Paul says, I do have a dark sense of humor, Duke, and a great rack now. And Ian's laughing at Paul.
You've got to have a dark sense of humor to do anything on this channel.
Yes. Right. I'm at the stage now where I need to find this bloody
thing.
It's really annoying. I don't know what the hell I've done with them. I've put
Your
them
wheels,
somewhere.
you still lost them.
Yeah, I've put them somewhere because I sprayed the damn things.
Dag nabbit.
Joe says, oh, good. Wife will be in San Francisco for 3 weeks. I can get stuff delivered and not get yelled at. Good man, Joe.
Do you think she could take my wife with
her? Paul says, go for it, Joe. Yeah, go for it, man. Spending spree.
I even get shouted at when I get deliveries from Models for Heroes for the group I run.
What have you ordered now? Not me.
Yeah. What's he ordered now?
I get that too. Except when she forgets that I'm buying it out of the channel money, not out of well, the stuff that for the channel I'm buying out of the channel money.
Whee!
Wait. What? Oh, my new T-shirt's been printed. Woohoo.
I seem to have 2 left over. There must be another one to do. Yes, no. Oh,
yay! My new T-shirt's been printed.
You.
Joe says, and this one is, if I move the camera, it's that logo but in English instead of Welsh.
Oh.
There you go. And I've got it in army green, of course. Joe says, sister-in-law is flying wife to dog sit her. I thought I said flying wife to dog shit. Her dog. It's cheaper to fly her in than pay a dog sitter in San Francisco. Wow. That's insane.
It's weird.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law does dog sitting, and it is expensive. Charge a lot.
That's why Weight Rose can do it. Jim says, Kevin, yes, we are, Kevin. Looks as if my part in the upper Midwest will be in the so-called heat dome through the weekend at least. Yeah.
Oh, the heat dome.
That one.
Not the golden dome.
No. Or the golden shower.
Paul Price says, damn, Joe.
What's going on here?
Kevin says, Jim, stay cool. Stay cool, eat ice cream.
I'm glad I didn't commit to glue on this. So I think I've done a Marley. I think I've done what they call in the trade a Marley.
Yeah, I love the fact that that's actually a thing now.
Do you? Do you?
Not just not just in this channel, but in M4H and everything.
I know.
Doing a Marley.
Right, I think I may have sorted that now.
Right. Jim says, thanks, Kevin. Paul says, so no rain for your bike this weekend, Jim. do. Number 30 on the left. But neither of them are number 30. What's going on? One's 14 and one's 50. Oh, stage 30. Okay. See, even I make mistakes. Jim says, Paul, at this point, Sunday looks to be clear of rain, hoping that will hold up. No, if it's hot, you want it to rain. So it cools you down. Carries the heat away from your skin.
Yes, I had done a Marley, but I've corrected the Marleyism.
Jolly good old boy. So we want 50, which is this one. Oh, God, these are going to be so fragile. Paul says, best of luck, Jim, with a capital K. Jim says, guys, check your floors and the model benches for all missing parts you've dropped. The parts are still there. Our cats find any parts I've dropped. Carpet monsters take mine, even though I've got no carpet. Either that or the kids.
I have an anti-carpet monster device. I'll change cameras. That I purchased from Models for Heroes.
Ooh. Purchased. By chance.
Purchased by chance, yes. And it has never let me down.
Oh.
And
Yes.
And even better,
a rectal extraction device. Oh, there we go.
And even better, this bit here is magnetized, so you can even get PE parts.
Is that for when you go to get your prostate checked?
Yeah.
when they're doing the biopsy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very good piece of kit.
John's back and he says, good morning to me. Good afternoon for you guys. The heat wave had me building models here in the States. Hello, John, and welcome back, mate.
Hi, John.
Glad to have you.
Willkommen.
Yeah.
Tiff can't remember which part of the States John is in.
John, shut up.
Shutting up.
Tiff says, 10 minutes, Mikey, and I have to disappear. No problems, mate. John says, imagine modelling a locomotive being rebuilt. Oh, that sounds like an interesting project. And the question is, are you building it as it is now, or are you building it and then going to add to it as they keep restoring it? So you progress along with them. That would be an interesting project. Oh. Jim says, thank you, Paul. I will drop the live stream Sunday for a short visit. Oh, I'll drop in the live stream Sunday. Oh, there we go. Paul says, more than welcome, Jim. Jim says, greetings, John Thompson, not John Thomas. Sorry, John.
Just called him a dick.
I didn't say that. I just misread his name. I do apologise, John. John says, from New Jersey. Oh, you're from New Jersey, by the way. I want to go to Wales. Well, you'll be more than welcome, mate.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
I'll even teach you some of the lingo, mate.
Yeah.
Just make sure you got
paint that on all the roads. Araf.
Yeah. I don't know how you have one part of the Royal Air Force, like, but Paul says, got some shots of my ACW armies, now waiting for my daughter to get back from the USA.
Back in there. Oh, no, nearly same.
Yeah, I'd love to see photos of those.
Well, he's on Discord, so if you get your butt on Discord for a change, John, you'd be able to see them, wouldn't you?
Oh, ouch.
John, some ointment with that burn.
What just, I don't know. Just, I'll have to cancel my OnlyFans subscription.
You've only got one subscriber, and that's you.
And even you refuse to pay the subscription fee.
Even you said, and I quote, "I'm not paying to watch that dross." What's that?
I'm not watching that a second time.
No, that replaced the whale in me nightmares. GM says, we're getting over 100 millimeters of rain here daily. Temperatures bounce from 26 degrees C to 32 degrees C. When the sun shines, the air cons are working well here.
Oh, good.
I can imagine. They'd be a godsend. John says, I did see one in Scranton, Pennsylvania, 4012. I think that's Pennsylvania, but it's PA. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, must be. I suppose. Or it could be Philadelphia. But then why would you go to cheese?
Jim, what have you said?
Jim, John Thompson, I hear the south of Wales is considered to be the better part of the country. I hear you're a lying bastard.
Yeah, it's the New South Wales, which is the best part.
It's where South Wales is where all the devil worshippers go. Like Julian. Oh. There Tiff says, Mike Philly is in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I thought he was in a tub. There we go. We learn something new every day. The only reason I know Philadelphia is because Fresh Prince.
Oh, God.
So not the film Philadelphia.
No, not that old.
So,
You do forget I wasn't born until the end of the 80s, right?
I appear to have quite a few parts left over. That's not normally a good sign.
Paul says he's put a hand over his face and he's looking through his hand. Looking between his fingers. Looking through his eyes, obviously, but you know what I mean. Ah, dear. I'm wondering if Kate might be right. I've either got ADHD traits or this is my normal self, and I just don't feel. I feel a lot better over the last couple of weeks. I feel more myself than what I have done for a long time. And it may be a little bit annoying. If it does, just tell me. I'll quiet down.
Bob says,
you are who you are.
I have the T-shirt to prove South Wales is heathen land and proud of it.
Yes. I want to see that T-shirt, Bob. You'll have to share a picture of it, mate. Because I did a picture for Julian, and it's the devil sat in a wheelchair in front of some flames, and it's at the top. It says, what was it? Oh dear! Oh, Pimp My Heathen, South Wales edition. Yeah, South Wales edition. Tiff says, never annoying Mikey, makes the shows more entertaining, and Bob put a pic of him wearing it in Discord. Fantastic. Bob, are we all right to show it, mate?
This is where Bob says no, because that's all I'm wearing if you look at the pic.
All right. Airbrush clean.
Question.
Strip your airbrush down for daily cleaning.
There you go. There's the picture that I made.
Yeah.
And it looks like a cross. If you look, it looks like a cross between Julian and Derek Okora.
God.
I don't know who Derek Okora is.
There you go, Gary. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Righty.
Derek Okora was a medium from Liverpool.
Well, he wasn't.
Well,
because it was proven that he was a fake.
Yeah. But you can't tell that to the Scousers to get very upset.
Right.
Whee! See, where I've jumped to and fro in this build because of the way we've done it, I'm finding lots of bits left over that should be on the kit.
Duke says, if you look at the list of ADHD symptoms, we all have it now. Ha ha.
Yeah. You see, I think there's a lot of truth in that statement.
I think we're all on the spectrum somewhere.
Because if you think back, now I know you can't do this, Mikey, but if you think back to the 70s or the 60s, none of this was around.
No. Well, it probably was.
People was. Oh, you're just going to do what I was about to say. People would say, "Oh, it probably was," but we didn't. Well,
wow. Question, Bob. Where? Or modders, if you're still there. Where did Bob post it? Because I can't find it. Tiff says, Mikey, the pet's corner has the pit. Ah, there we go. Bob's parrot is sitting on his shoulder. Oh, that's cool.
And please don't think I was saying that ADHD and autism and things like that is a made up sickness. I wasn't saying that. If that came across like that, I apologize straight away. What I'm saying is,
you're evil.
What I'm saying is that is.
There you go, Bob.
Yeah.
There's Bob.
I actually don't know what I'm saying, to be honest.
In his Pimp My Heathen t-shirt.
Another man with a manly beard.
A rather majestic beard there, Bob.
It is. It makes him look like a professor.
Professor Bob.
Yeah. Very cool. The Flying Dutchman, Dutch Dave Modelbench says, hello, panel and chat with 2 inspection gloves.
Hello, Dave.
Dave. Or Dave.
Modders, go to your appointment.
Bob says,
oh, I heard 2 voices at once.
Only on page 4 of Discord for dummies and already using Maori terms.
Right back at you.
Jim says, hello, Dutchman. John says, funny, I have ADHD too. I'm in good company. ADHD too. Oh, is that a second version of it?
Oh, no, it's a droid in Star Wars.
I think your comment about everybody's got it is probably true.
Yeah.
It's just varying degrees of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Cole looks okay, doesn't it?
I think what seems to happen with me, certainly over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if it's because I'm happy and excited, obviously, because what's happening in my private life, as you two know, or if it's what's happening in my private life has lifted a massive weight off my shoulders, so now I'm feeling more myself again.
I think you come to a point eventually, and I certainly have, that you reach what's the best word? A sort of zen.
Yeah.
Without getting too arty-farty, tree-huggy, and you know, but you get to a point where you accept your lot and you're happy with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I am now. I'm happy with.
You're content with life.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. And I'm glad we can be a part of it, Gary.
Yeah. And I think that's probably what you're approaching.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it,
possibly,
is accepting your lot, if you like. You know, we all have, you know, all of us on here have got medical issues, and you know, rather than fighting it all the time, just accept it. Accept that is your lot.
Yeah.
And the sooner you do that, I think the sooner you can move forward and be happy with your lot.
Well, this is something I was discussing with a certain person the other day, or last night. That with my diabetes, if I miss a meal, sometimes if I'm out, I forget to have something to eat, and my sugars can drop really, really quickly, and it goes from me feeling fine to me feeling a bit fuzzy and confused, then starting to feel hot. Then I start going into like a massive torrential sweat, and then I start feeling like I'm going to collapse, and then eventually after that, you collapse and have seizures and all that crap. If you don't get food soon enough. But I've never got to that stage. I've got to the point where I felt like I was about to collapse, so I got through the sweats and everything. And I said, I keep forgetting that I really should wear my medical bracelet when I go out, because if I'm out and Kay's in another shop or something like that, and I collapse, I'm stuffed. Or because when your head starts going fuzzy, you start getting confused, you start slurring your speech. It's happened on here a few times. Luckily, you guys have pointed it out and got me to have something to eat. And I was thinking about why I don't wear it, and I think it's because it's like a walking stick. I'm still embarrassed by it because I'm only 37.
Yes. Yeah. I went through a period of depression after my second stroke.
Yeah.
And my diabetes had got quite bad, and I had to wear compression socks.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, this is what sort of played a major part in it. So I managed to get referred to some counselling, and I was still in my 50s then, and I said, look, my problem with it was that I'm in my 50s, and look at the state of me. Look what's happened.
Yeah.
I have 2 strokes, diabetes, this, that, and the other, and now I've got to wear these compression socks. And I said, I look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I was really conscious about how I look. So this counsellor, she said, right, I want you to come in next week, because it was summertime.
Yeah.
Shorts and t-shirt, walking stick.
Yeah.
Your compression socks on. And I did that. She took a photo of me.
Yeah.
And then she attached the photo to a document, and she got people to fill in the document what they saw this person as.
Yeah.
And it was quite heartwarming to see what came back. Because although I was thinking I looked like a complete
old fart
womble, there were comments like, this is obviously a person who's happy in how they look and all that sort of thing. And it was the exact opposite of what I was feeling.
Yeah. See,
so that taught me to accept my lot, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you're in a better place to manage everything else that's going on.
Yes.
It's like me today. I walked into a bottle shop and said, now what do I feel like? And truth of the matter, I felt old. So that's what I came away with. So here's a fun fact. There's a okay. This is a decal set for an FX Hawk 127 RAAF 76 squadron, right? Now that was designed by. It was originally on a Mackie, that the Hawk replaced. So that was designed by Darren Mottram, who still works on the Hawks and all that sort of stuff. So in the Airfix instructions, it's got this note. Airfix would like to extend their thanks to Darren Mottram for his assistance in the preparation of his kit, right? Well, so that's Darren. He's in my model club, and he's holding the kit. Isn't that cool?
That's brilliant.
Well done.
That's cool. And here's another weird thing. I went to a place today called Curry Curry just because I'd never been there, so I thought I would. And there's a Welsh flag.
Restaurant. Oh, yay.
It's in a bad way, as is the English flag.
Yeah, they are in a bad way, aren't they?
Voltaire, they really need to be replaced. But it's been windy as all get out lately. But the reason, it's a big ass.
Australia is probably the only place you're allowed to fly the English flag these days.
And a kookaburra.
Yeah, there's a big kookaburra sort of model statue thing, which is pretty cool. If beautiful day for it, as you can see. I was in a t-shirt in winter, and the reason was a Welsh flag, Scottish flag. It's originally Newcastle, where we are. It's a big coal mining area, so a lot of Welsh people emigrated to Australia and moved here. So this is a coal memorial and all that. That's paint, but there's also a. I don't know if these are these. I know Merthyr is a. These are the place names. I know Merthyr is a Welsh town because it's where my grandparents came from, Merthyr Tydfil. But Stanford, that sounds English.
Yeah. Stanford.
Yeah.
Stanford's in Lincoln.
S-T-A-N Ford.
Oh, Stanford.
Yeah.
I don't know where Stanford is.
Neath, I know, is Welsh.
Neath,
Curry. Yeah. Curry is where this place is. Aboriginal for in the beginning, apparently.
From tasty food.
Head and Greta, is that a place over there?
No.
Nope.
Okay. And Abermain.
Yeah, that would be somewhere over. What does Abba mean?
Swedish rock band, I think.
No, A-B-E-R, not A-B-B-A.
Oh.
Bob says, show the pic. I don't care. I'm on the inside looking out. Bless you, buddy. Ian says, hey, Dutch Dave. Dave says, short question. How did Wales end up with a dragon in the flag, and does it have a name? So the reason the Welsh flag has a dragon is because in medieval times, the Wales was its own country, but it's split into different kingdoms. And the biggest kingdom was North Wales, and the king's symbol was a lion. So that's where that comes from. So the Welsh flag didn't exist, I think it was till the 50s, the official Welsh flag. So what they did is they used, because the Welsh national anthem and all this, it's all about love of country and things like that. And so they had the green for the country, white for the sky or whatever, and then they had the red dragon, because the red dragon comes from the old Welsh poetry about like King. What's it called? St. George and things like that as well. But it comes from the old story of the red line was the red dragon was the Welsh dragon. The white dragon was the English dragon, and it was the two dragons fighting each other.
There you go.
And why have I seen pictures of St. George killing a white dragon?
Because that's wrong.
Okay.
History as time goes on, history becomes murky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, but I thought it was a photo taken at the time, and it's factual. Clearly wrong.
Yeah, but that's where the Welsh flag comes from. It's a combination of Welsh poetry and Welsh folk tales and things, and the old Welsh kings. So there we go. We have a lot of history in Wales.
A lot of history.
We've got buildings that are nearly 1,000 years old. In fact, the abbey over the road from me, that's 800 years old. And it was partially demolished during Henry VIII's time. But they did an archaeological dig there last year, and they were finding Roman coins and bracelets and things, and I think they found a piece off a horse's rein there as well, like a Roman horse's reins, which is pretty cool. Because where I am used to be the main road is actually the old Roman road that went from Chester to Anglesey.
Now called the A55.
No, that's a new road.
I know it's a new
road. Road is the old road.
Yeah. I do.
Dutchman says, hi, Ian. Bob says, oh, the parrot is called Roxy. There we go. Natisha says, Mikey, the pet's corner has the pick. Bob's parrot is sitting on his shoulder. Thank you very much, mothers. Paul says, Wales is brilliant. Used to go on summer holidays as a kid. Went back a couple of times since moving to Oz. Nice. Dave says, hi, Jim. Bob says, drop, mid-sentence, caps lock, hit. No problems, buddy. Right, I have to bugger off. Hey, Benji, can you please stop interrupting me? It's bad enough with John.
Oi!
Have to bugger off now. Behave you lot. See you on Monday. See you later, modders. Jim says, Dave, you have quite a collection of World War II Japanese aircraft models. Very nice. Bob says the Department of Parrot Inspection, DPI, seem to approve. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if that was a thing in this country. Dave says, I have, Jim, one of my favorite Air Force for the schemes and variety of planes. Nice. Duke says, sorry, I need a drink. 2 seconds.
Duke says, I know what you're saying, Gary. Back in the 70s, there just wasn't a list back then.
There you go. Skiffins is in. Hello, James. He says, hello all. Hope your day is better than the shit show of a day I'm having. Oh, what's up, James?
James, what's up, mate?
That's not good to hear.
You. Paul says, I asked myself, was I mad? All the voices said no.
No.
Apart from the one that was humming.
Yes. Ian says, take care, Tiff. James says, mad. I will have to confer with the box of frogs to be able to answer that.
You know the bit I was missing the other day off of
Your brain?
This part here? Do you remember? It snapped off.
Yeah.
And disappeared. I've just found it.
Oh, where was it?
I put it in here.
What is that?
Well, it's a tub.
Oh, okay.
It's an old calci-chew tub for chewable calcium medication for my wife. So I can put this on.
Excellent. James said, oh, no, we've read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We don't have a mod anymore.
It's fine. I'll be modmin. Bob says, once I thought blood glucose monitor was being friendly, it said hi. Turned out I was over the limit. 20 years later. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I mean,
well,
that's terrible.
That's one thing the person said was that it's worrying that you don't notice the difference when it's high until it gets really high.
You actually said when you're high then.
Yeah. When your blood sugars are high, when you've got diabetes, you don't notice it until they get ridiculously high.
Yeah.
And that's why it causes so much damage, because you don't realize that it's gone high.
Right.
But when it goes low, you notice the symptoms.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes.
Jim says, hello, Mr. Skippins. Paul says, Mikey, I've worn one every day since my bypass. Oh, the medical alert bracelet. I've got a pretty cool one, to be fair. Obviously, I'll show you, but I've got to cover the details on it, obviously. Shit, I had it last night. What have I done? Oh, there it is. I'll cover the details, but yeah, that's mine. It's a leather one with a metal thing on it. So it's like a watch.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Chinese watch.
Skiffins says, hey, bro. I can just picture Skiffins with his shades on saying that. Timmy says, sorry to hear that, Skiffins. Hope it looks up for you. Yes.
Yes, we need to find out why he's having a shit show of a day.
Yes. Maybe he had a prostate exam and it went wrong.
No.
Is it Wong Ho?
James, is it a Cargi related shit show or a work related shit show?
Yes.
I rather hope it's a work related shit show and not an Akagi related shit show.
Well, one sort of matters more than the other, though.
Yes, true.
I reckon he went to the doctors and they did a prostate exam and he turned around and said, I only came in for tonsillitis.
I reckon growing toenail.
Yeah. Skiffin says, thanks, Tim. It's okay. Just another day in paradise. Ooh. Joe says, Mr. Morris, I wear those compression socks myself. It used to bother me when people looked, but my legs felt so much better. I walk 18 holes and see more older people wearing them now.
Yeah, that's true, Joe. True,
I get a
Joe.
lot of swelling in my legs.
Yeah.
I think it's the medication, isn't it?
Oh, God knows what it is. Isn't it? I just know I was having an issue with my legs.
Yeah.
And I went and saw. I thought I was going to see the nurse, and it was the matron, and she was a real Hattie Jakes type matron. Watching Carry On films, and she gave me one of the biggest bollockins I ever had in my life. And
Why?
then said, "You have to wear compression socks," because I wasn't looking after myself properly with my diabetes at the time.
Right.
See, you got to look after yourself, dude. Like in 12 months, I've managed to get my blood sugars from, well, obviously far too high, to actually being normal.
Oh yeah, mine are fine at the moment. And if anything happens and they go a bit high, I normally know why they've gone high.
Because you drank too much beer.
Yeah, yeah.
19 people watching. Don't forget to leave and subscribe. Joe says, bye, Tiff. Jim says, take care, Tiff. Skiffin says, bye, Tiff. Bob says, Abbott is mouth of the river. There we go.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, yeah. I'm surprised then there's no town called Aberdeen here. Because we're on the mouth of the River Dee.
Aberdeen. 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 So is Aberystwyth on the mouth of the River Ristwith?
Yeah. It is. Don't forget, when the English tried to abolish the Welsh language and by brutal force of beating children out of using the language in the 1800s, they also changed. They decided the best way to do it would be to change the place names and things to English. So they got rid of a lot of the Welsh words for the rivers. But over the last 50 years or so, they've slowly started reverting back. So, yeah.
Don't worry, we'll soon change that.
Jim says, Abba, they manufacture some awesome photo etch detail sets. GM says, there are triggers that set ADHD in motion. It's very rare in Korea, as was diabetes. With some groups getting fatter, the diabetes is starting to show up. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. John Thompson says, I saw the countryside in Germany, traveled across by rail to Berlin. I saw a good documentary on a British train that went to West Berlin. Cool. John says, modeling irony, you find the part when you no longer need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Got on the floor to look for a part and found something I lost 6 months ago. Jim says, I didn't notice a difference in anything when I was high. John says, when I travelled by rail in Germany, I went from Cuxhaven to Berlin. I bet the scenery in Wales and Scotland must be impressive. It is. Especially if you go into Snowdonia. But it's not called Snowdonia anymore, but yeah. Everyone calls it Snowdonia anyway. Except for the Welsh nationalists. It's actually called Wyddfa or something. Jim says, John, very true, John. Just found a part the other day I had lost months ago. There we go. Skiffin says, work, politics, and the rattle of knives in my back. No prostate has been hurt, I suppose. Hurt in the making of today.
Hard in the making of today. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Well, hopefully it'll all blow over, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The work.
You don't need that shit in your life.
No. Julian says, Yari says, remember the part I was missing? John says, the brain. Me thinks, mine's been AWOL since the doctor slapped my mum and I fell out. June says, "Oh yeah, I'm back." No shit. Joe says, "My blood sugar gets high when I walk by the Reese's peanut butter shops."
No, don't tell me I've done another Marley.
Paul says, "Only dead fish go
No,
with the flow." That's true. It's very, very true. June says, "Aberfan confused me though. Just looked at the map and can't see a River Van. It's the mouth of the valley, isn't it?" So,
And I have no idea what you're talking about.
have you never heard of the Aberfan disaster?
I know of the Aberfan disaster, yeah. But the mouth of the valley bit.
Don't forget, the meaning of words change slightly in Welsh when you add other things to them.
Like English.
Well, yes, because the English don't know how to translate things.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yes.
It's fired at the police.
I was just looking at a post that our local policing team's just put up as well. Apparently, they're riding on the trains today to catch people who cause problems on the train or don't pay for their tickets. Because that's a very good use of our time when we have the transport police to deal with that.
Yeah. Bloody drivers and guards. They're always doing it.
Yeah. John says, "Have any of you built those locomotive kits where you built everything including the frame from PE frets? That would drive Gary insane. I want to do one." Actually, do I? No, probably not.
I've only built one of those metal, I can't remember what they're called, Metal Earth kits. It was a Lancaster. I didn't really enjoy the process, so I haven't built another. That and the fact I'd prefer to, these are more detailed, I think, if you put a bit of effort in.
I received a Metal Earth model of Mr. Evans the other week. Mark, the one they showed us of a Mark V tank or Mark IV tank. Can't remember which one it was.
Mr. Evans back from his cake tour of Europe.
Yeah. Listen, annoying. Why is that not?
You appear to have half of the.
Okay. Alrighty then.
I'm so pleased I found that bit.
Okay.
My train is complete. Well, it's not complete because I haven't finished it yet, but all the parts are there now.
Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
And you will notice, by the way, can I just say this? 1 hour and 24 minutes and 10 seconds into the stream, I've not said a bad thing about this kit today.
Yes, I shall make a mental note of that.
Yeah. Tiff reckoned I couldn't do 3 minutes.
Well done, Gary. You must be very proud. You've gone a whole hour without whinging.
Well, one tries.
What's going on here?
One tries one's best, don't you know?
Paul says, "Police toilet stolen. Cops have nothing to go on."
Oh, that's an old one. I will get my book of dad jokes out.
Yeah, don't make him do that. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Geffel. Where are you, Geffel? There you are. Geffel, Welsh for tweezers. There you go.
There you
go. Okay.
So.
Bob says, slight delay, visitation from David. He now has his and Julian's strand beast, spare spiders, and new cutters. Nice.
Does Sean Connery like herbs?
Sean Connery's dead. He doesn't like anything.
Yes, but only partially.
What?
Yes, but only partially.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
Oh. I scared the mailman today by coming to the door naked. I don't know what scared him most, the fact that I was naked or the fact that I knew where he lived. Steve, these are quite good.
Or the fact that you were coming at the time.
Oh, John, that's messy.
What? We're
Dad?
all wanting it.
Dad, can you tell me what a solar eclipse is? No, son. Think about it.
Oh, got you. Yeah. Okay.
You're a bit slow, boys.
I'm trying to think whilst I'm doing this. How the hell I'm going to get this to stay in place?
Right, I'm going to random page. Here's one topical one.
Okay.
How do locomotives hear?
Go on.
Through their engineers.
Oh dear.
Ba-dum-dum.
Very good, Gary. Very good. Julian says the village dad was from Abercrombie. Interestingly, Wikipedia once again is wrong. It's near the River Boy. There we go. Bob says David also got a minor cacophony from Roxy. There we go.
I'm trying to think of their joke.
If I have
If
twin
you
daughters,
weigh-
I will name one Kate and I will name the other one Duplicate.
Oh dear.
If you weigh a whale at a railway station, where do you weigh a pie?
What?
If you weigh a whale at a railway station, where do you weigh a pie?
A pie?
Yeah, somewhere over the rainbow.
What?
Whack, whack, whack.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Oh God.
My great uncle died last week while making butter on his farm. It really was an unfortunate churn of events.
Comments. Paul says it's like being at a group therapy with folk with all the same problems as me. Yeah, it's great. Isn't it?
We all have the same problems. We all deal with the same shit.
Julian says, can someone surgically remove that book from Gary? Paul says silence is golden, duct tape is silver.
News just in. Local police have acquired 1,000 bees. They're being used in a sting operation.
Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. What have I created?
I do have a book of toilet jokes that Jake got me somewhere as well.
Oh dear. Moving swiftly on, John says, I laugh because modelling does bring out my sailor's vocabulary. Anybody need a scotch or a pint for some bills?
Oh, yes.
What type of scotch is...
Actually, I can't.
What scotch are you drinking? That's the question.
Yeah.
I only drink single malt, I'm afraid. And I don't drink scotch, I drink Welsh whiskey.
I'm sorry, but whiskey is the devil's juice.
Whiskey's good for you. Puts hairs on your chest. And on
There
your
is
head.
a song. There is a song that about the fact that rain is good because rain makes corn and corn makes whiskey and whiskey makes my girlfriend awfully frisky. It's an actual song.
I'd be pleased to hear that.
Actual song.
I'm sure Marion would be very pleased to know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't be happy about the girlfriend part.
There we go. Right. You sit there like that. Stop being a twat. Right. Julie says, Tim, also please slap John next time you see him. Sam Muchley.
He thinks we are upstaging Sir Julian.
So what I'm hearing is Julian wants Tim to slap John on all 6 sides of his head.
Ooh, excuse me, referee.
GM says, Julian, Abercrombie is known in Korea for men that wear tight-fitting trousers without underwear in America. Daughter's friend told me that one. Okay. I've never understood why people wear tight-fitting clothes. It's so uncomfortable.
Tell me about it.
But that could be the fibromyalgia. So,
Paul Tanker says 6 out of 7 dwarves are not happy.
yeah. Julian says, different place, Gary M. And Joe says,
you have a point, sir.
yes.
I'm confused myself. I've just made something and I don't see where it goes.
There you go. Bob's just put a picture up of him and Dave today. You ready?
Go on.
It's a nice picture.
Yay!
Well done, guys.
Nice
See,
one.
we're bringing people together.
Together. What the
Well
chuff
done,
is
guys.
going on here? Yeah, well done. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
What have I done here? Oh, brain hurts. Brian. Is that it?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Right. Bob says, best not open my riddles for the toilet.
I think I have that book.
Tim says, I had a joke about vacuums, but it sucks.
God damn.
Boy.
Yeah, chicken, yeah, Mikey boy.
June says, you have a point, sir. That's what she said. Bob said, David did the picture, not me. That's all right. It's nice to see the two of you together looking happy, buddy. That's what matters. John says, do you build ships in the group? I built the Queen Mary as a liner and as the Grey Ghost from the Revell kit. Potential for detail on that. Well,
there's reaction going on.
There's a story behind that, John. We did build the lifeboat. The Shannon class lifeboat. And it was really lovely kit and it went together really nicely. Didn't it, Gary?
Oh!
Until Gary landed a shelf on his head and then onto the kit and destroyed his own kit. Yeah. Which was ironic because he was building another ship at the time.
Yeah, I'd nearly finished the lifeboat, and I was also trying to build the Airfix Vintage HMS Victorious aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And I don't do ships. I've always said that. I always will. And the gods of the modelling world decreed that this was wrong and detached my shelf from the wall with all my kits on top during a online club session, and it all fell down on my head.
Yes. And my first response was, are the kits okay?
Yeah. The only damage to any kit was that the lifeboat got smashed up.
Yes. Which will teach you not putting them away.
So I don't do ships.
But I have got a 7-class lifeboat on the way, which might be a build at some point. If you want to do that, Gary.
We'll see. No, I haven't had a very good experience with doing any ship whatsoever. So,
yeah. Paul's hiding from Tim for the joke. Gary says, Julian, yeah, lots of strange titles for subjects unusual. Yeah. Julian says, I finally understand why I'm called a grown-up. I groan every time I get up.
Well, that's me today. That knee of mine. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Paul Tanker says, My father-in-law was on the Grey Ghost in World War II. Nice. Well, I'll say it wasn't nice for him, but cool.
As long as there was consent.
Are we talking about prostate exams again?
No idea where this is going.
Julie says, the modelling gods were displeased with Mr. Morris for making a floaty thing and duly punished him.
Did they ever punish me?
Uh-huh.
I had a
It made a
bruise.
hell of a whack on his head.
I had a bruised left breast for weeks.
Yeah, that was funny because every time we went on live, you'd catch it and you'd start sitting there rubbing your bloody tits.
Which is now, and now I do it all the time.
Yeah, now it's a reflex.
Stopped.
Bob says, Revell Mayflower to do here. Was thinking of putting it on my Triumph Mayflower, but no room. I've got a few of them type of kits. The Mayflower stuff. I need to do them at some point.
When I first came back to modelling, I tried to do a ship. I tried to do the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
I forget what scale it was. It wasn't a big scale. It was only about that big. But you had to, with a pen, paint all the windows, draw all the windows, all the portholes and all that in. God, that put me off ships, I tell you.
Well, fortunately, now we're in the 21st century, so they can actually put the holes in themselves.
Well, yeah. But
We're
no,
not in the early 1900s now, mate.
we don't do ships. Ships are a no-no.
Speak for yourself.
Paul says he was on his way to South Africa with the RAF. Oh, there we go. Because they did a lot of the flight training down there, didn't they?
Yeah, and in Canada.
Yeah.
And funny enough, they do a lot of the flight training nowadays in Canada.
That's because the people are really nice. Like Kevin. Kevin's from Canada.
Canadians are very nice people.
Yeah. That's why they hardly ever go to war.
I have some relatives in Canada.
Except from the First and Second World War, when they actually punched well above their weight, considering how small the population of Canada was back then. They did a lot of good work.
Yeah.
Go for it. Painting's in. Says hello. Go for it. Painting.
Hi, go for it.
John says, did you hear the one about the electrician who told too many jokes? He found it hard to resist. John's an electrician.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Nice one.
What? Oh, I could go on, and I will. Have you heard about the disappointing zoo?
No, but I'm currently having an existential crisis.
I only have one animal. It's a Shih Tzu.
Bob says, big prairies to crash on without hurting civilians. Yeah. Unless they land on a tank or something. Then doesn't hurt civilians, but does a lot of damage. Joe says, not the Canadian geese on our lake. They poop all over the place. Ew. Ew.
Ew.
Go for it says, have a great paint job. Nice. Paul says, a bit like Oz. Yeah. Bob says, is that a current joke? No, it's a raisin.
Current joke.
Gosh darn it. Come on.
I am not enjoying this bit. Hang on.
Oh, shut up, whinging, you miserable.
No. I'm not. I'm just. It's not the kit. It's a tricky bit to assemble to try and get all the parts in the right spot.
Yeah. What's getting me is trying to get this platform to sit level and on the front. It doesn't help the train keeps coming off the bloody track. There we go. Right. Hopefully that'll stick. And GM says, Mikey, I sent a link to the North Korean aircraft to your channel. Gary Evans' email address keeps rejecting. Try changing the letters, but it's a no-go. Could you forward on to Mr. Evans, please? I certainly will. I'm not sure why it's rejected. It shouldn't do. Tim says, gooses. Do you mean geese? Geese. Paul Tanker says, Star Wars 12, Luke needs a walker.
Have I mentioned the names I've given to the local geese at the park down the road?
You did, but I can't remember what they were.
I'm going to regret this. So you're not going to tell us then?
No.
Because he's a git.
Did I tell you about that time when I... No? Oh, okay then. I've got an interesting story.
I call them Neville,
but you
Arthur,
haven't.
and Chamberlain because we shall have geese in our time.
Ah, there you go. Hey, we got a new subscriber as well. Excellent. That puts us on 628, which is really cool. Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome
Tim
to
says,
I can only describe as the madhouse.
yes. Tim says, joke from a show called Letterkenny. Never mind. Ha ha. Oh, no. I would say I'm too old, but Tim's 7 years younger than me. He's a young boy. He's a young whippersnapper. John says, my one train model kit I did was the MDC2 and 3 truck Shay in HO. That took a bit of work. Slow, but sounds like a fast car. Ooh, nice. That would be pretty cool.
They go down there.
Oh, cripes. Right. What to do?
So-
What to do?
This is. I was thinking, John.
Oh, now
do you know what
that's
would be an inter-
a good thing.
you know what would be an interesting comparison build? Get one of the Revell German locomotives that are in the same scale, so that you can see the difference in the size between the Big Boy and
You mean the
normal
one that's got red sort of panels and
yeah,
stuff
like,
as well?
like the BR3 and stuff.
Ooh.
If you have a
What
look
you
at it,
talking about?
I think that would look really cool. If we have them side by, because you could have them side by side, so you can see the difference because they're the same scale. And I think they're only 20 quid for the kit.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's a S3, S6. Well, 52 Australian dollaroonies.
So yeah, it's about 25 quid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, 52 Australian.
So
Yeah,
that one.
that's probably about 52p. Yeah. So there's a few different ones, but yeah, something.
Yay! I've got the wheels on.
There you go. So there you go, 28 centimeters,
Whoop, whoop.
and this one's 50 centimeters, so it's nearly double the length.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right. At some point. Yeah, it's readily available.
Yeah.
So sure.
You up for that, Gary?
What's that?
Wooden
Show him
ship.
again, John.
Oh, cool.
Because this is such a big locomotive, Revell do some German locomotives that are the same scale.
Come on.
So it'd be interesting to do
Wow.
a normal size steam locomotive and put them side by side.
That's one for the future, maybe. Yeah.
There we go. I think that'll look nice, huh?
We'll be in training.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Sneak preview, peeps.
And they
People-
say we never tell them what's coming up.
Yeah.
I
May
know.
come to a show near you soon.
Paul
Yeah.
Tanker says, saw a rye loaf in a zoo. It was bred in captivity.
Sorry, I was yawning at the same time then. Jem says the Gmail app doesn't recognize a lot of the English email addresses. Don't know why. Oh. Okay. It's weird. Jen says BCATP The British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. World War II plans to train RAF air crews abroad, including Canada, South Africa, and also some in the US. Not sure why, though, as the US isn't in the Commonwealth. No, but they did have Corsairs, and they had massive lakes where they could practice carrier.
And also, the weather in Florida is better for training pilots than the weather in Cleckheaton.
Yes.
And they also, once they were trained up on the aircraft types, were able to fly them across to Europe.
Yes. And they could generally recover the pilots pretty quick if it was in a lake because, they didn't have too much recurrence and things.
Yeah. Have you seen the size of some of their lakes?
Yeah. Size of what? Bigger than Wales, sort of. John says, Australian trains are interesting because you can see the American influence in some as the comparison. You could do the comparisons on a stepped display base. Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where I would be able to display them, though.
You could 3D print a base for it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of physical space.
Oh, yeah. Or you could get some guitar hooks or something. Oh, no, you're not putting stuff on the wall. You'll hurt yourself.
Guy hooks.
No, guitar hooks. They'd hook underneath, so you just rest the track on them, and then put the tray on and just put something underneath.
Honestly, I haven't even got the wall space. Would you believe?
Yes.
I've got paint racks on the walls. I've
the
got
amount of holes you drilled in it. Yes, I would believe that.
I have got walls like Swiss cheese.
Yes.
Well, you're meant to actually stop the drill once you're through both layers of wall.
Yeah. I think he did it on purpose so that he can put a piece of string to the wall and him and Marion can have cans at each end. So instead of shouting, they could just talk through the cans.
No, we just use the smart speaker and drop in. Use the drop in on the smart speaker.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Alexa, you mean?
Shut up.
But yeah, I like that idea. Bob says, I hate when measurements are given in centimeters. Correct metric is powers of 3, so millimeters, please. Okay. I mean, I'm just glad they're not in feet and inches because we weren't taught them in school.
No, not like in our day when we were taught.
I had to learn that. I learned imperial, kind of, from my toolbox because the army toolbox, it has a tray of metric spanners and a tray of imperial spanners.
Yes.
So obviously you'd be working on different things.
And it was owned by an army spanner.
I used to work with a guy called Spanner Matthews. We called him Spanner because his head was on an angle.
One of my best mates at school's surname was Pratt.
Right.
June says, my point was, though, they pretty much had the same conditions as Canada, except for Florida weather, which they wouldn't get back home in the UK. Yeah. Jim says, US Navy trained pilots for carrier landings on ships plying the waters of Lake Michigan. There are still some aircraft at the bottom of the lake. Yeah, they pulled one out not so long ago, didn't they? And they've started restoring it.
I read about today a wildcat that was pulled out and it's been restored. In fact, I saw a YouTube walk around of it.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
John says, have a good day, gents. It inspired me to do some modelling when I get back from PT for my back. Awesome. Glad to inspire people. And see you again soon, hopefully. Look forward to your company. Cool. Julian says, interesting historical point regarding smoke signals. The very first one sent was help my blanket on fire.
Very good.
I thought the first one was, Gary, don't order from AliExpress.
Ouch.
Gary, Marion is watching.
Marion is always watching.
I'm watching you, Wazowski.
Yeah. And Julian says, okay, maybe not. So you were lying, Julian. That's not on. You can't be doing that, buddy. Paul says, FW190 was pulled out of a French lake at Tulladé.
Oh, I did see that. It looked in really good nick. Like the paint was still on the wings.
Wow. They did a really good episode of Time Team where they dug up a Spitfire that crashed in Germany during the evacuation of in France during the evacuation of Dunkirk.
There you go. Okay, I need to go and watch my little digitals.
And that in the wreckage, they actually found the chain that was on the back of the pilot's leather flying jacket to hang it up. And they took his brother to the crash site to go and see where he died, which is really quite
nice.
And they said to him, "We've had permission from the museum to they said to give you this," and he said, "Oh right, okay," and he's like holding it, playing with it in his hand. They went, "Do you know what it is?" He went, "No." And he went, "It's the chain off your brother's flying jacket that he was wearing when he died."
Huh.
I was like, "Oh, that's a nice thing to do." Because you're not going to get any closer to your brother in that situation than that chain. So that's quite a nice thing to do. June says, "No, Mikey, the first smoke signal was not another strand beast, Bob." I think that was the first, middle, and the last.
And the first words when the first blanket got set alight was "Me done Molly."
It was Oshita Marley here. Oshita, it's on fire.
Has the fire brigade been invented yet?
Quick, get a group of people together with some hoses.
What's a hose?
God damn it. Oh, John's in trouble again.
He's just wiped his...
What? Be careful what you say next.
Well, he went to wash his hands, didn't he?
Ah.
He probably wiped his hands on a brand new towel and got them all dirty. He's back. What did you get told off for?
John?
Hello?
What did you get told off for?
What do you mean?
Oh, we thought we heard you getting told off.
No, the girls were talking. I don't know if I mentioned, but there's a duck hunt going on around our house.
A duck hunt?
Okay, I'll be back in a sec.
I've got John's nipple clamps.
It's a bit harsh. Why are they hunting ducks? I'm sorry.
Why are they hunting ducks? Why do you think? Because they're tasty.
Mind you, it is the Marley household, isn't it? So any
ducks are delicious.
Small creature.
Well, yeah, there is that as well. Oh shit!
I don't like duck.
Okay. So my daughter was bored, so she went off and bought.
So she went off and killed a duck.
Oh right.
She bought a pack of 100 of these little ducks because she's doing a sort of exchange. A placement for primary school teaching, and she's just going to hand them around to the youth.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so then she hid a series of these around the house, and everyone's been what's been happening is somebody would find a duck and then rehide it in another spot. So everyone's gone crazy. So that's what was going on there. I think.
Have you ever thought
for a duck?
Have you ever thought of investing in a television, John?
Yeah.
Okay, back in. I need to give the duck back, otherwise.
Oh yeah, don't
problems.
Let it never be said that Bearded Veteran creates live streams that interrupted a duck hunt.
No. What you should do, John, is place it just where. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He said he was going.
Damn it. Whilst he's gone, I can get a word in edgeways. Oh, there we go. GM says, we found an inverted DC-3 smashed into the mountainside in North Queensland. The crew remains were still inside. Oh,
that's not good.
No. He's back.
Okay. Hello.
I was going to say, John, what you should do is get one of the little ducks, and on the top of the steering column where the console is in the car, just rest it on there against the perspex for the console.
There's rules. They've actually written rules that are stuck on the fridge.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
They take it seriously, don't they?
Oh, they have,
Yeah.
yeah. So you remember Surge, the little car I made?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get Surge. Hang on.
Julie says, no, the blanket would be wet if it was Marley's smoke signal. Why? You had a wet dream or something?
I like that comment.
Paul says, past, present, and future walked into a bar. It was tense.
The wet blanket comment is nominated for quote of the day.
Julie says, the important question, though, is whether John has all his ducks in a row. We must have done something wrong, because we've gone from 20 people watching down to 13.
Okay, so this is Surge, the car, my daughter's car that has since gone to God. So there's a duck driving it. So yeah, they're everywhere around the house. It's a thing.
Yes. A bit like Christmas, like a real Christmas tree needles. You're finding them in August.
Oh, like laundry tags from the Middle East. Yes, finding them for 15 years. I was.
Yes. Right, we
I
seem
still
to
got my Dobie bag from Iraq.
we seem to be focused quite heavily on John at the moment for some reason.
Yes, sorry about that. Okay, so you probably saw earlier. I've finished painting my tender black, coal black. That's all black, and I've painted the bits and bobs steel. So it's the AK metal color. Those bottles style.
Yeah.
And like just following a photo online and doing the bits of so anyway, it's pretty much, I think next week it'll be decals and painting the rail, which I've put Millie Putt and stuck them together as well. So I'll be moving on.
I really need to figure out how to get these bloody bogies and stuff to stay on, and I need to find the wheels.
Lost them.
I've got to that stage. Ignore the bit dangling down. It's still a dry fit.
That's what she said.
And I too am struggling to get it all to match and line up. But I'm hoping to have that all sorted for next show, and then I can do the decals and bits and bobs like that. And what I'm also going to do over the next week, touch wood, if it's not too hot, is get the track sorted. And then I'm nearly there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool, boys.
We did stuff. We did train stuff.
I did massive progress on this today because last week it was all going wrong. This week I found bits that I thought were lost forever, and it's all sort of come together, for want of a better word.
Yeah, and we've come up with plans for another train build, which is cool. Considering Gary says he would never do a train, that'll be his third.
I said in the future. I didn't say when in the future.
Paul says, thanks for the therapy, guys. See you later. Well, we decided to do the Jag Panther. We're going to instead of that Jag Panther you ordered this morning.
She might not be here, but she hears everything.
She listens in on Alexa.
It's turned off.
Alexa, turn on.
But,
Alexa, man cave off. Also, thanks for the therapy, guys. See you later.
Anytime, mate. Glad to help.
Yeah. June says a priest, a vicar, and a rabbit walked into the clinic for a blood test. The nurse asked the rabbit what he was. He said, "I think I'm type O." But
do you know what? That very, very joke is in my book of dad jokes, and I decided I wasn't going to say that joke. So I will leave you with.
Just leave us.
The pulley is the most egotistical of all machines. It is always the center of attention.
Oh.
And on that note, hull vow on everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, Fury.